Of course. Here is the full 7-minute voiceover script on the Stoic philosophy of overcoming anger, written in a continuous paragraph format. Music, a subtle, ambient, and contemplative track begins and plays softly throughout. Anger. It is the most seductive of all poisons. It feels powerful in the moment, a fire that promises to burn away injustice. But in the end, it is a fire that consumes the vessel that holds it. It is a thief that steals our peace, a cloud that obscures our reason, and a heavy chain we willingly wrap around ourselves. We get angry at other drivers, at our colleagues, at the news, at ourselves. We believe our anger is justified, that it is a necessary response to a world that does not meet our expectations. But what if this entire premise is wrong? The Stoics offered a key, not to suppress anger, but to dissolve it before it can ever take root. A simple, profound shift in perception that, once mastered, can grant you a level of peace you never thought possible. Every flash of anger, every wave of frustration begins from a single, flawed belief that the world should bend to our will. We get angry because the driver should have used their signal. Our friend should have been on time. The weather should have been sunny. This is where our suffering begins. The first Stoic truth we must absorb is the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that we must draw a hard line between what is up to us and what is not. What is not up to us. Everything external. The actions of others, the state of the economy, our reputation, our health, the past, and the future. These are the storm. What is up to us? Only one thing, the fortress of our own mind. Our thoughts, our judgments, and our willful actions. Anger is the exhausting, fruitless war we wage when we try to command the storm outside our fortress, instead of securing the peace within it. But if external events don't cause our anger, what does? The Stoics located the source with surgical precision. It is not the event itself, but our judgment about the event. The spilled coffee is not inherently bad, it is simply spilled coffee. The objective fact is neutral. The anger comes from the story we instantly tell ourselves. This is a disaster. My morning is ruined. I'm such an idiot. This always happens to me. We assent to this story, we believe it to be true, and that assent is the spark that ignites the fire of anger. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. This is the work. This is the technique you must practice until it becomes second nature. The next time you feel that familiar heat of anger rising, you must do this. First, the pause. The instant you feel the trigger, stop. Do not speak. Do not act. Freeze the moment. Create a space between the event and your reaction. This space is where your freedom lies. Second, the separation. In that space, separate the objective fact from your subjective story. The fact is what a camera would record. My colleague said, your report has an error. The story is, he's trying to humiliate me. Acknowledge the story, but see it for what it is. An interpretation, not the truth. Third, the question. With the fact and story separated, ask yourself two critical questions. 1. Is the external event in my control? The answer will almost always be no. You cannot control what your colleague says or thinks. 2. Is my judgment about it true and helpful? And the story that he's trying to humiliate you is probably not true, and it is certainly not helpful. It only serves to cause you pain. Finally, the reframing. This is the crucial step. Withhold your assent from the harmful story. Simply refuse to believe it. Then, if you can, choose a better one, a rational and virtuous one. He is helping me improve my work. Or, he is simply stating a fact, and I can choose to fix it calmly. You take back your power by choosing your judgment. This is not a magic trick. It is a form of mental training. It is the practice of a lifetime. At first you will fail. You will pause too late, and the anger will have already taken hold. But with practice, the space between stimulus and response will grow wider. The process will become faster. You will begin to catch the destructive judgments before they catch fire, and you will find they have no power without your consent. This is the promise of Stoicism. Not a life free from difficulty, but a life free from disturbance. You do not control the world, but you can achieve an inner peace that the world cannot break. For as Seneca wrote, the best remedy for anger is delay. In that delay you will find your reason. And in your reason you will find your freedom.